Let me ask you something uncomfortable. Why is it that the very people you despise, narcissists, liars, manipulators, so often seem to rise to the top while the honest, kind, and selfless remain in the shadows? Why do fools command armies? Why do liars win elections? Why do narcissists sit in the corner office while you, someone who actually cares, are overlooked? If you've ever felt this, you're not crazy, you're not weak, you're waking up to a truth that most people spend their lives denying. Leadership does not reward virtue, it rewards power, and power, more often than not, belongs to those willing to do what others will not. Machiavelli knew this 500 years ago. He said it plainly. It is better to be feared than loved if you cannot be both. A phrase that still unsettles us, because deep down, we'd rather believe the opposite. We'd rather believe that kindness wins, that truth triumphs, that humility is rewarded. But history laughs at our illusions. Look around. The names of saints and martyrs are whispered, but the names of conquerors are carved into marble. Think back to your own life. Have you ever sat in a classroom, at a job, or in your social circle and watched someone climb ahead, not because they were better, but because they were louder? Not because they were wiser, but because they were willing to manipulate? You saw it, didn't you? And you told yourself, this isn't fair. You were right. It isn't. But here's the truth Machiavelli forces us to confront. Life does not reward fairness. Life rewards strategy. Plato dreamed of philosopher kings, rulers of wisdom and virtue. Nietzsche warned of the will to power that drives all human beings. Bonhoeffer cautioned us about the stupidity that spreads when the masses follow the worst among them. But Machiavelli stripped away the noble illusions. He looked at the raw mechanics of power, and what he saw was this. Goodness does not guarantee authority. Truth does not guarantee followers. Virtue does not guarantee survival. What guarantees survival is adaptability, cunning, and the ruthless ability to bend reality in your favor. This is why leaders are so often narcissists. Because a narcissist does not crumble under self-doubt the way you do. They inflate their own importance until others begin to believe it. This is why leaders are so often liars. Because a lie, repeated with confidence, can mobilize armies more effectively than a hesitant truth. And this is why leaders are sometimes fools. Not because they lack intelligence, but because foolishness, when paired with blind confidence, can appear as boldness. And people confuse boldness for strength. It's a bitter medicine, isn't it? To realize that what you thought was a flaw in the system is the system itself. We were raised to believe that honesty, kindness, and humility would open doors. But in the ruthless machinery of human ambition, those very traits can make you prey. The honest are predictable. The kind are exploitable. The humble are invisible. And yet, here's the twist Machiavelli also knew. Without virtue, power eventually collapses. A liar can win the crown, but the truth catches up. A narcissist can command loyalty, but cracks appear when reality doesn't bend forever. A fool can stumble into power, but power has no mercy on incompetence. This is the paradox. Virtue without power is weakness, but power without virtue is chaos. So where does that leave you? Let's step into your life again. You felt invisible in rooms where louder, emptier voices prevailed. You've swallowed words to avoid conflict, only to regret it later. You've seen leaders you don't respect get handed responsibilities they don't deserve. And maybe you've asked yourself, do I need to become like them? Do I need to betray my values just to be seen? Here's where philosophy meets reality. You don't need to betray yourself, but you do need to learn the game. Machiavelli never said cruelty was good. He never said deception was holy. What he said was simple. If you want to survive in power, you must be willing to do what survival demands. A prince who is only kind will be devoured. A prince who is only ruthless will be hated. The true art is balance. The mask, the performance, the understanding that in public life, appearances often matter more than truth. It's uncomfortable. But haven't you already lived it? Haven't you already noticed how people respond not to your purest thoughts, but to the image you present? Haven't you seen that confidence, even when empty, wins more than honesty delivered in hesitation? Think about this. The sheep loves the shepherd who feeds it, but the shepherd does not exist without the wolf. Which role do you want to play? Machiavelli forces us into a mirror. He whispers that the world is not fair, and never will be. That leadership does not seek saints, but survivors. That power flows not to the most deserving, but to the most daring. But maybe, just maybe, that's your chance. Because now you see the game. Now you know why narcissists rise, why liars thrive, why fools stumble into crowns. They succeed not because they are worthy, but because they understand, or at least embody, the brutal simplicity of power. And you? You don't have to become them, but you can no longer afford to be blind. So the question remains, will you continue to play by the rules of fairness that no one else is following? Or will you step into the arena with your eyes open, wielding both virtue and strategy, knowing that only the union of the two can outlast the liars, the fools, and the narcissists? History doesn't remember those who wished the world were different. It remembers those who had the courage to face it as it is, and still dared to shape it. So ask yourself, here and now, when the time comes to choose between being loved and being feared, which mask will you wear? And more importantly, will it be you wearing the mask, or will the mask wear you?